Well, President Biden, you have a lot of work to do. We know this, we understand this. There's a big tax giveaway going on per usual, but this is actually something you can do something about. So this headline, will Biden end an illegal $50 billion tax giveaway? The IRS is sanctioning state laws allowing rich Americans to bypass the SALT cap and avoid billions in taxes. But a new Biden nominee could end that scheme. Let's hope that that nominee does just that. And this reporting is coming from The Lever. So since 2018, state legislatures have been helping the richest Americans evade billions of dollars of taxes every year in a flagrant violation of federal law. And the Internal Revenue Service under both Presidents Donald Trump and Joe Biden has rubber stamped this scheme, or the scheme. Thank you, Julia Rock from The Lever, laying this out. So we want you to understand both parties, GOP and the Democrats. You know, here on Unbossed, we lay it out at straight, no chaser here, and this is what we're talking about. So there has been a leadership shakeup in the IRS. Beautiful thing. Let's hope that that shakeup leads to a correction of this wrong course. The loophole in question was created by new state laws and allows people to use pass-through entities such as, let's list them, and we have them up there: private equity firms, hedge funds, law firms, medical practices. They can bypass a $10,000 limit on state and local tax write-offs. As we can imagine, all of this adds up. And that limit, created by none other than President Donald J. Trump in 2017 tax bill, had the effect of raising taxes on the wealthy, especially in high tax states. The state created laws in response to this cap, experts say, are clearly illegal under the 2017 federal tax law. And according to New York University law professor Daniel Hemel, this so-called pass-through entity tax scandal will deliver an estimated $50 billion in tax breaks, mostly to Americans who make more than $1 million per year by 2025. The professor's research represents the first comprehensive estimate of that size in looking at this loophole. And the professor further states, in effect, the IRS has created a special tax preference unauthorized by Congress for hedge fund managers, law firm partners, and other pass-through entity owners. And the Biden administration, notwithstanding its professed, underline, underscore, bold commitment to tax fairness, has acquiesced in this massive giveaway to the rich. Go ahead and lay that out, Professor. He laid that out in this article that Julia Rock wrote. And then one more final point from the professor. But ending this loophole is squarely the responsibility of the president. All they need to do is enforce the law that is on the books, he said. This isn't asking them to score some legislative shot from half court. Boom. David?
Well, merely just bringing this up, if Joe Biden had a speech or a news conference where he said, you know what, I see what these pass-through entities have been able to get in the states over the last 5 years. I see it. And if this doesn't get stopped, then we're gonna take action and through executive action, and I'm gonna tell the IRS to go ahead and start collecting this money. Just the warning from the president, I think, would have a huge impact. And this is also a reminder that people think, oh, all politics at the state level doesn't really matter that much. No, it matters, because when these law firms and these hedge funds, they have just as many lobbyists in state capitals as they do altogether in Washington, and they are able to get this sort of reaction so that if Washington, president of either party, does something that, I don't know, hurts the business interests or the financial interests of the wealthiest Americans, well, then they deal with it at the state level. And that's why voting for Democrats and voting for progressive policy at the state level is also important, because it cuts down on the power that a lot of these lobbyists are able to have.
It does, it goes hand in hand. Often just repeating the saying, it takes teamwork to make the dream work. And that teamwork has to happen not just on the federal level, but state level, regional level, and also local levels of government. Who we put in office matters, who we give our power to actually matters. And when you have progressive or conscious-minded elected folks in office who will look out for the 98%, and that synergy is happening on all levels of government, that is in fact a thing of beauty. So here in this case, let us repeat, as the professor said, ain't gotta make a slam dunk. You ain't gotta do none of that. No shooting from half court. All you have to do, President Joe Biden, is to enforce the law. And that will take care of all of that. We'll be watching this. We're gonna keep hold on this story. The new IRS leader, get to work, baby, and deal with this.